Live right here on this Monday on the early line on SportsGrid as we get you set for a new week in Major League Baseball. A big one today in Philadelphia. Yesterday, the Phils on Sunday Night Baseball lost in extras to the St. Louis Cardinals, but the Phillies still winning the series 2-1 over St. Louis. The return, as Donnie likes to say, of Rhys Hoskins for the Brew Crew in the city of brotherly love. Rhys Hoskins and his Milwaukee team have now won 5 straight, but today they go up against a force in Zach Wheeler. And the Phils are greater than a $2 favorite, minus 210 on that money line, seemingly going to end that 5-game win streak for the Brew Crew.
Yeah, it seems so, and that's what you want, your ace on the mound when you're trying to come off a game that you probably thought you should have won last night. And the Phillies, a little bit of struggles in extra innings, not being able to get that runner, scoring from second base. So they lost last night, but again, still won the series. That's always what you're trying to do. And also will be emotional tonight because Rhys Hoskins never wanted to leave Philadelphia, but there really wasn't a spot for him anymore. The reason why Bryce Harper went from right field to first base, they figure it's going to prolong his career, less wear and tear than playing in the outfield. And then there you have it. That was Rhys Hoskins' position, who, quite frankly, it wasn't as if Rhys Hoskins was an unbelievable first baseman, a very talented hitter, but a terrible fielder here. So you can't pay everybody, and he had to move on, and he went to Milwaukee. So there's that. Now, coming back to the city, we'll see what he does tonight. But again, it's Zach Wheeler we're talking about. The focus is going to be Bryce Wilson here, the right-handed pitcher for the Milwaukee Brewers, and how he can't get out left-handed batters. On the season, 88 batters he's faced on the left-hand side, a 260 ISO, a 409 weighted on base percentage. If we just take a look at the last 53 batters over the past 30 days, it's still a 196 ISO and a 427 weighted on base percentage, which means in the middle of that lineup, you got Bryce Harper, 67 at-bats over the past 30 days against right-handed pitching, a 317 ISO and a weighted on base percentage of 429. If you're looking for an RBI prop, that's the guy in the middle of your lineup. And if you think the Phillies win, Bryce Harper's probably going to play a big deal in that, so take him to get an RBI tonight. But I do think the Phillies win. They'll be backed up by Zach Wheeler. They're the better team, and we'll see if it plays out that way tonight at Citizens Bank Ballpark.
With the Yanks having the day off, a win for Philadelphia would match New York with 42, the most in the bigs, and would tie New York with the same exact record, 42-19. Elsewhere, DRS, only 7 other games on this Monday MLB slate. Not the largest, but we go to a divisional duel out in the desert between the Diamondbacks and the Giants. Now, neither team has been great this year. In fact, only 2 teams in the NL West are above 500. The Dodgers and then the Padres are 2 games above that mark. San Francisco now 2 games below 500. They've lost 4 in a row. Arizona, the reigning National League pennant winners, 5 games below 500 as well. The D-backs a home favorite today in downtown Phoenix at minus 136. What do you like in the opener of this divisional duel this week out in Arizona?
What are we actually going to trust? The reason I bring that up is Ryan Nelson, supposed to be the starter tonight, the right-handed pitcher for the Arizona Diamondbacks. He hasn't been very good. Let's just take a look at a 30-day snapshot. 116 batters that he's faced, a total, if we combine both lefty and righty batters, a 222 ISO and a weighted on-base percentage of 427. Even if we break this down, Ben, 63 batters he's faced from the left-hand side, 226 and a 353 weighted on-base percentage. Flip it over to right-handed batters as a right-handed pitcher, 217 ISO, a 515 weighted on-base percentage. Here's the issue, though. Only 2 guys in the lineup today over 170 as an ISO power number against right-handed pitching over the past month. That's Matt Chapman and that's Mike Yastrzemski. But if we flip it over to the other side and say, how does Spencer Howard match up? He's not a great Major League Baseball pitcher, and quite frankly, has only limited opportunities this season. So if we take a look at Corbin Carroll, Jock Peterson, Christian Walker, Jake McCarthy, some of those left-handed batters, they should be able to do some damage tonight as they go up against Spencer Howard. So if we're looking at a side perspective, probably a slight lean here towards San Francisco, but why do that? Just take the total over 9 runs. I think we get runs tonight.
Yeah, that's where the total stands right now at 9. 8.5 the number in Anaheim between the Angels and the Padres. San Diego, again, 2 games above 500 and a road favorite in this Southern California clash between the Halos and the Padres. Minus 138 on the money line. DRS, the Angels have dropped 5 in a row. Does that skid reach 6 tonight?
It could. Tyler Anderson, one of those guys that actually has an above-average number if you're just taking a look at the non-analytical numbers. But analytical numbers each and every week doesn't strike out a lot of guys, walks too many guys, ends up giving up fly balls. You should be able to get some damage. But having said that, the Padres really haven't hit left-handed pitching all that well. So that's sort of one of those numbers you look at and say, I wish it would have been better. Switch over to Matt Waldron, who's going to be on the mound tonight for the Padres. He can't get left-handed batters out. you have slightly a few left-handed batters, Moniak, Calhoun, and Luis Guillorme in the lineup tonight. So 2 advantages I would like to take advantage of. I don't know if I can tonight here. We should get runs, but these lineups stink.
The Halos have also dropped 9 of their last 11, including this 5-game skid.